reality show star is accused tonight of having sex with a minor.
Chasyn Rance is accused of...
Chasyn Rance, 25 years as a professional wrestler, owner, president, and trainer of the Team Vision Dojo for at least 18 years, but he is perhaps most known for his role that he has taken as a registered sex offender in the state of Florida for the last 11 years as of this recording. Once known around the industry as one of the more reliable performers on the independents, as well as enhancement roles in WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor, he has since been exiled from the main portions of the profession following an event in 2011 that still follows him to this very day, as it should, especially when it leads to this person working closely with children. And that is what we will be discussing in today's video. Most of my other videos aren't usually this disturbed or grim, so if you do want to see more videos in the future about all the random and cool stuff that comes from pro wrestling, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and with that being said, let's get right into it. Meet Chasyn Rance. Born March 15th, 1983, Rance made his professional wrestling debut in 1999 with his first documented match according to Cage Match taking place on August 14th of that year. Rance was trained by a wrestler by the name of Rusty Brooks, who was most notably used as an enhancement talent for the then WWF and even had a match on television with Hulk Hogan. Throughout the later portions of his career, though, Brooks trained a good number of wrestlers that you've likely seen on TV throughout the years, including the likes of Gangrel, Norman Smiley, Diamante, as well as today's subject, Chasyn Rance. From 2003 to 2010, Rance would make appearances across many notable independent promotions such as Full Impact Pro, Major League Wrestling, Coastal Championship Wrestling, NWA Wildside, and in many others, primarily based in Florida, where Rance was born and where he has spent the last 18 years as the president of the Team Vision Dojo in Orlando. The dojo itself was created in 2002, but I'm honestly not sure if he worked there as a trainer before that, gonna assume he has, so I'm listing what he has on his LinkedIn to show you right here. Throughout their resident promotion, I Believe in Wrestling, which later rebranded to Pro Wrestling Vision, he has wrestled 324 of his 868 matches with the school, which means that yes, Rance has spent 37.3% of his career wrestling for a wrestling school. Something straight out of an M. Dickey game, I swear. Throughout the 2000s, Rance even received multiple opportunities as enhancement talent for some of the larger promotions in pro wrestling, such as Ring of Honor, where he'd have 10 matches and only won 2 of them, 5 matches in TNA, all of which ended in 3 minutes or less, and even a dark match for WWE before an episode of SmackDown. Like many others in the industry, Rance has many connections and utilizes them to the best of his ability, including inviting wrestlers like Scott Hall, Booker T, and Larry Sabisco for training sessions down at the dojo, the latter of which lives, I'm not sure of which, in Rance's home. One essential piece of Chasyn Rance lore that must be touched on is that he was a part of a reality show in 2009 called Tool Academy, which aired on VH1. The obvious end goal for this was to be able to parlay that into long-term success in wrestling, almost exactly how The Miz was able to transfer his success from the real world on MTV to WWE's Tough Enough. Obviously, that did not happen for Rance, and a little after his departure from the show, Rance would take part in an incident that would ultimately change his life and career and would follow him around forever.
And reality show star is accused tonight of having sex with a minor.
Chasyn Rance is accused of lewd and lascivious battery on that girl.
And the girl says she had sex with the reality show star several times at his Orlando home when she was just 15 years old.
West 2's Craig Lucy shows the local man dubbed a bad boy on national TV could wind up with a reputation that's much, much worse.
On July 14th, 2010, Chasyn Rance was arrested in Orange County following accusations made by a 15-year-old girl they had had inappropriate contact. The incident took place in 2008 and, according to the girl, she had consumed alcohol, marijuana, and then proceeded to have sex with a 25-year-old Rance in his Orlando home following one of his matches. According to the statement provided and reported by Palm Beach Post, Rance is mentioned in texting the girl that he, quote, wishes he waited for her to turn 18 and that he didn't mean to hurt her but found the 15-year-old to be both, quote, attractive and mature looking, end quote. Rance pleaded no contest to charges of lewd and lascivious battery in 2011, for which he was sentenced to 2 years of community service and was forced into registering as a sex offender for 7 years. There are many important details that I would like to include in this video in the form of an interview that Rance had with a channel by the name of Duke Loves Wrestling, a smaller channel on here that also interviewed another controversial figure in Rob Feinstein. As much as I would love to show you, Duke has been false flagging videos for using his interview to provide context for this very disgusting situation, claiming that creators like our friends over at GrappleVision were lazy for using the interviews in the videos. To avoid having to deal with this fucking dork in my email threatening to sue me over a YouTube video, which isn't the first time someone's tried to do that in the last 6 months, I unfortunately will not be sharing clips from this interview. If you would like to seek it out, I'll leave a link in the description, and if he has a problem with me adding another 10 views to his accumulative 100, that's his issue. Anyways, in that interview, Rance said many things about himself and others that I feel would not appreciate being named in his shenanigans. In the interview, he implies that his grandparents knew about the age of the girl, mentions that the girl was legitimately his fucking cousin, and he alludes that this incident happened at a party in a hot tub in front of fellow wrestler Kirby Mack, implying that Mack himself had no issue with Rance hitting on a child right in front of him. For those who aren't very familiar, Kirby Mack was an independent wrestler who was trained by the Hardy Boys themselves and wrestled for their Omega promotion in North Carolina. Throughout his 12-year career, Mack most notably wrestled for Ring of Honor, as well as multiple job appearances done for WWE and TNA throughout the years, teaming with his brother TJ to form Team Action. Mack retired from wrestling after he broke his neck, and according to him, Chasyn Rance was one of the few wrestlers who kept up with him following the injury and subsequent retirement, which led to Mack having a bit of a soft spot for Rance. This and many other details were discussed on the stream of Grapple Vision, where they interviewed Mack, and this will all be included in the description of this video so you can get even further context, because despite how detailed this video could be, it's not going to do nearly enough justice. But Mack gets on a Discord call and defends himself against the weird claims that Rance has bestowed upon him. A bit of a weird detour, but I wanted to show you a clip from this just so you can have an idea about how heated this exchange can really get.
Again, we've been very charitable thus far, and I've been trying to kind of just get what you're saying.
I've been charitable.
You've been talking over
Hold
Blossom
on,
for the past hour.
Kirby.
Hold on,
Kirby.
God, good shit.
Who the fuck? I'm the one who people still know who I am in 2024 versus
19
you.
people. Say hello to your mom.
Well, no, it's 19 people because we just fired up a live. We usually make videos. They get thousands.
Yeah, well, you're welcome for the views.
You're not.
okay.
The reason we're getting that many of them. But again, Kirby, the last thing you want to do is get into a promo battle because God knows that's why you didn't get that fucking far in the actual bits. Am I right?
Oh, couldn't have to do with the fact that I broke my neck.
Well, your promos also were dog shit.
I didn't know.
Your promos were absolute dog shit. You know that. You know it. I know it. The American people know it. I will pull up a Kirby Mack promo right now. Don't make me do it.
Pull it up.
Stifle, Kirby. Here's what you need to understand. If I wanted to be uncharitable, I could put
Don't
it
talk to me like I'm Edith from All in the
Shut your
Family.
fucking dick licker,
stifle.
Kirby. I'm
You
fucking
stifle.
talking. I've listened to you talk. You need to shut the fuck up and listen
You're
to me.
talking in circles.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I haven't
your
talked
mom
at all,
is gonna
Kirby,
bust
because you
into
won't
that
shut
room
your
any
goddamn
minute now,
cocksucker.
And your mom
If
is
you
gonna
could
be
shut
like,
your
"Would you just stop
cocksucker,
cursing?"
I could get my fucking sentence out. But you are such a weirdo, you can't let
A
anyone
weirdo.
talk. Shut the
cannot
fuck
have-
up. Sit the fuck down. Get your buddy Chasyn off of your fucking text real quick. Let
He's not
somebody
on my
else
text.
speak. Let someone else fucking speak, you little dipshit. And
What
maybe
a
we can
promo.
advance the fucking
Literally
conversation.
In a video by Grapple Vision, which has since been flagged by the aforementioned Duke, Rance left a comment under it in a rather defensive tone given the circumstance, and also took the opportunity to claim that the girl is not a victim, stating the following. Hang on, I got to do my best Chasyn impression.
I can see how some things can be confusing and interpreted in a certain way. Maybe I was explaining a little too much or too little, as I feel like never victim blames, as there was no victim. Married. Not her first and not her last. She's happy. Anyways, like many greats continue to endorse, I'll continue to train the best I've learned from the best wrestlers and families in wrestling. WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, etc. All know my students are trained properly, in parentheses, if they work smart and pay attention. I will continue to better the world of wrestling, and you do you.
I had to hold my nose for that. Oh my god, I'm ticklish. Let's go back a little bit.
I will continue to better the world of wrestling.
So, Chasyn, and you can comment under this if you feel like it, considering you will watch this like the egomaniac that you are, since it is about you. Do you feel like a registered sex offender booking himself to win a tag team championship with a 16-year-old is better in the world of professional wrestling? That's not a joke either. Rance booked himself to win the AWA Florida tag team titles with a 16-year-old wrestler by the name of Bella Snow. They had 2 title reigns that lasted a combined 800 days. Snow is one of the many underage trainees at Team Vision Dojo, and Rance. Don't believe me? Take a look at Rance boasting in this Google Q&A that he had trained wrestlers as young as 3, of course with a parent's permission. Although I would love to meet the loving parents who decided that sending their children to train with a registered sex offender is a good idea. I'm sure they're very bright folk. I do want to mention that legally Rance is allowed to be near minors for business reasons, but you would still think that the parents would have a little bit of common sense when it comes to who trains their kids. Now, by this point in the video, you might be asking yourselves, KLA, is Team Vision Dojo even address this? Well, yes. Team Vision Dojo released a statement to bodyslam.net, which I got from Fightful, following a then recent controversy involving Rance and the school, shocker shocker, which I will show right now, but please be aware that this is likely from Rance himself, as he is listed as the president of Team Vision LLC as of 2006. Hello. Chasyn Rance was deemed guilty in a court of law in 2011 for actions that took place in 2008. During his time on probation, Chasyn was in therapy, not allowed to interact with minors, and had to submit to drug testing. Chasyn completed everything he was required to by law, and then he went back to training minors, again sharing full knowledge of his past with parents. Chasyn continues to be one of the best trainers of professional wrestling around, and there is no denying that. While his actions of the past look very bad, the future looks bright for all those that Chasyn continues to help. Thank you for any concern. Everyone at Team Vision Dojo is doing great, and we have many big projects continuing and others in the works. If you would like to contact Chasyn regarding anything else or other false accusations that this website has promoted in the past that was debunked, feel free to contact him at email here. False accusations that the website promoted in the past, eh? Surely he isn't calling his very public status false? Perhaps he's mentioning the customs that he did in the training facility. If you're not familiar with customs, I don't blame you. Customs are essentially wrestling fetish videos that are typically sold online by shitty independent promoters. If you watched my Teddy Hart video a few months back, you might recall how I talked about how Teddy himself participated in these customs with Rance. Needless to say, this did indeed happen in the Team Vision Dojo in Orlando, the same facility used to train fucking children. Chasyn Rance is still unfortunately a prevalent name in pro wrestling, prevalent enough anyways to train with people on a national television level like TNA's Moose, AEW's Ricochet, and even NXT champion Obafemi, as well as still bringing in WWE contracted employees like Hall of Famer and commentator Booker T to help with seminars. And let's also not forget how he has friends in very high places in wrestling still, like Jared St. Laurent, the current COO of MLW, with whom he'd even lived with for an undisclosed period of time. I'm not naive enough to think that I alone can drive him out of wrestling, but the point of this video is to get the word out about how this man moves and who he moves with. One thing that I was accused of in the Rob Feinstein video by Rob himself was that I was only seeking attention and money off of his name, when in reality I can think of dozens of other topics that I can talk about in this sport that would probably draw more views and revenue than just Rob Feinstein. The same applies for Chasyn Rance. This is not for views or revenue or attention or whatever. If it gets any of those, great. But it's genuinely fucking disgusting to me that parents willingly pick this man to train their kids despite his past. He seemingly just rubs it in any chance he gets. I would say that I have no idea how he still gets business or how people still associate with him, but I've come to terms long ago that professional wrestling is filled with really shitty people, and people do not care about working with those shitty people if the money's right. To a degree, I get it, but I feel like you need to draw a line somewhere in the sand personally. Holy shit, I almost forgot about the New Japan situation. In 2018, New Japan Pro Wrestling held an event in Daytona Beach, Florida in collaboration with Community Effort Orlando, or CEO for short. And at the event, then IWGP World Champion Kenny Omega, who booked the show essentially, gave the ring crew carte blanche to pick any two to wrestle in a pre-show match. One of those ring workers and one of the two chosen was Chasyn Rance. Omega later apologized for not doing his due diligence and offered refunds to any person who wasn't able to enjoy the show due to Rance's presence. But it is just another instance where pro wrestling can lack basic human morals and screening when it comes to working with dangers to children. If anybody thinks I might have been too harsh in this video, I honestly don't think I was harsh enough. When Chasyn Rance does come across this, just know I have 3 words for you, Jack.
Go fuck yourself.
But yeah, that was Chasyn Rance, the most disgusting man in professional wrestling. What did you think? Feel free to let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, as I look for all feedback, positive or negative. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you do not miss out on any future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.